Oh yeah, guys, it's our man Berto in the tiny tourney. So I'm gonna be doing like a little bit of an extension of Fan Fridays right now just to see the shenanigans that went down with the tiny tourney. A lot of Pokemon surprisingly fit under that 1 meter range, and it was like a lot of common Pokemon that we already see, but it did give some time for new Pokemon to appear as well. So let's see how this one plays out. Excadrill going for that straight Smart Strike onto the Whimsicott, and yeah, that's just going to be free KO right there. Whimsicott did get that Prankster Tailwind. Can't really shut that down too hard. And then the Gastrodon wasn't able to retaliate onto the Excadrill. So now it's going to be Mimikyu on the field as well next to that Gastrodon. And Sableye just going to straight up Will-O-Wisp onto the Mimikyu. No, Gastrodon. Oh. I was expecting Mimikyu to shut down that physical attack, but Gastrodon now has to deal with that burn. Oh. That's going to be interesting. The opponent's throwing down the Z move right now, and it's going to be a Twinkle Tackle. Probably just going to try to remove the Sableye as quickly as possible, because that is going to be a lot of damage, and Sableye really doesn't like that super effective. So we're going to see where this goes. And there's Mimikyu, and there goes Sableye, and that is of course going to be a one-hit KO. Just like that, but now Excadrill gets some free time. That will be the Smart Strike targeting the Mimikyu and just going to... Oh, Mold Breaker, right. Why Will-O-Wisp when you can just Mold Breaker, Smart Strike, and then Mimikyu dies? That's a very valid point. So that's going to be the Muddy Water onto the Excadrill. Excadrill barely surviving because Gastrodon does not have an absurd amount of damage. But it's good for that, you know, even the super effective hits. A lot of 2-hit KOs coming out of the Gastrodon. Still a very common Pokemon because of that. And now we have Muck on the field as well. And, you know, Excadrill's still hanging in there, so it might get a chance to do a little bit of something, or at least be fodder, because, okay, Excadrill buys that turn. Now Muck gets a free turn to do something to either the Gastrodon or the... Oh, and it gets the Mold Breaker Power of Alchemy. Interesting. Not really going to have too much effect right now, but at least it does get a chance to do something to the Kartana, potentially. As Kartana gets a Beast Boost. Kind of need to shut that down, and Gastrodon goes for the Muddy Water. So, Muddy Water onto the Muck. Yeah, we didn't see a lot of damage onto Excadrill. Muck's going to tank it, but it will lose accuracy, and it goes for the Stockpile. There we go. We have Stockpile Muck coming in. Things are about to get fancy, and against the Kartana, Muck could do all right with those defense boosts. Doesn't have to worry about getting blown up by something super effective. And then Torkoal comes in. So Torkoal definitely going to be scary enough against the Kartana. Drought's going to come in as well, boosting even more damage. Not going to really be too much of a worry for the Gastrodon, but as you can see, that burn is adding up, and Muck will throw down the Protect. So we're going to see Torkoal go for something crazy right now. Kartana, Sacred Sword will be protected, and that's it. That's the shutdown right there. And the Muddy Water will have reduced damage in the sunlight. So the opponent's mostly just doing that for like accuracy support, some damage, just kind of chipping things away. Torkoal takes a little bit of a hit right there, and then goes into that Lava Plume. And Lava Plume is a really interesting move because it hits all allies. Effectively think of it like an electric type Discharge. We see Discharge a lot more, but Lava Plume has a solid amount of damage behind it, but has a 30% chance to burn. Could have burned Kartana and then remove it through the Focus Sash, just like that. And it's really powerful for shutting down offensive teams. Then we have Sableye as well, so it's like Will-O-Wisp on top of Lava Plume. Pretty much this is the most physical hate out there. And the Tailwind will just kind of fade out right now. So that's going to be Kartana with the Protect. If there's a cheeky Z move hiding in there, things are about to get pretty bad. But Muck has the knockoff, going to knock off onto the Gastrodon. Big hit, removes the Citrus Berry, and might go down to burn on this point. At this point, that's a little bit of low hit points, and then Toxic onto Torkoal. Try to get the damage going, but pretty much nothing can be done at this point. Lava Plume, that's going to be enough to chip into Gastrodon and finish it off. Muck also going to take a little bit of a hit, but doesn't seem to be too big. Ooh, the burn though. At least it's not going to be enough, because Kartana's at 1 hit point. So yeah, at least there's enough shutdown overall. And that was just a solid battle. Like, there's nothing crazy gimmicky or ridiculous that happened. I guess like, Excadrill just showing up with that Smart Strike Mold Breaker in the Tiny Tourney. Mimikyu, very, very common Pokemon. I'd imagine that a lot of people were running it. Very powerful as well. And yeah, there we go. We just get to watch that happen. If it wasn't for the Tailwind, then Excadrill, I'm guessing, is Scarfed. Would have just gone for the Kartana, at least do a little bit of damage, break Sash, lead into some other stuff. So Kartana does get the Beast Boost after tearing through the Muck. Right, Sacred Sword going to be pretty good against those defensive boosts, but the Lava Plume on the Kartana will be enough to finish it off. And then when you look at it, I guess this is just like Berto's anti-meta team. Fun stuff. Fun fact, the Pokemon Global Link has actually updated with the top 30 Pokemon used in the Tiny Tourney as well. So I'll go and link that down below so you can kind of see what happened. Also understand where your team kind of fell if you were one of the people using some of the most popular and meta Pokemon. But at the same time, there's a lot of powerful Pokemon that have been getting played throughout many generations. I think it's pretty interesting to see they fell into the Tiny Tourney regulations. One that I've been seeing, yeah, the Azelf. Azelf was played quite commonly, and I mean, it's like a 125 offensive 115 speed Pokemon. It's still a pretty good Pokemon overall. And then just a lot of other ones like the Ferrothorn. It's just bulky and it's also short. Like there's some wide Pokemon as well, but yeah, the tiny Pokemon that fit into the regulations kind of make things interesting. So we have our Pranksters, we have our Setup, we have our Tank, and we just have outright destruction. So Excadrill at number 5 makes a lot of sense when you kind of look, that just shuts down Mimikyu immediately. It also has good play against some other Pokemon. There's a lot of water types. So yeah, it seems like there's a really good mix of balance inside the Tiny Tourney. So let's go into this battle with Berto and check out what happens now. Bringing out the Jolteon, so also mixing in some speed. I'm guessing that for the most part, Trick Room wasn't really too big of a deal in the Tiny Tourney, so you can bring more sweeping and fast Pokemon. Same time though, Mimikyu could just set up a Trick Room. It's pretty safe to do that. And there we go. So that is going to be Comfey Toxapex. Oh, that just feels disgusting. Like, how are you going to stop that? Well, I guess if you have the Excadrill for big damage on the Earthquake, and then Sableye trying to stop out the Comfey, that could be pretty nice. So yeah, it's going to be Fake Out onto the Comfey. Damage doesn't matter. Excadrill going for the Earthquake. Sableye doesn't even care. Like, Berto with the Lava Plume and the Earthquake just hitting his own Pokemon, but trying to just tear down more from the opponent. Like, okay. Oh, and bounces out the Excadrill. So yeah, now we get to see maybe this was kind of the intentional move right now, that you have the actually, Excadrill's fast if it is Scarfed, and I'm guessing that it has to be Scarfed at this point. So when you do that, you're intentionally like getting the damage down, popping it out, having Sableye set up for another kind of part of the game, and then I guess Muck can come in, Poison Jab the Comfey, knock off onto the Toxapex, and then make life pretty difficult for both Pokemon. So that's going to be a little bit of healing with that Black Sludge right there. And Sableye can also be a bit frustrating as well. If it Will-O-Wisp Toxapex, it's going to cancel out the Black Sludge. Toxapex will be withdrawn right now. And then Minior. Ooh, don't see the Minior too often. Oh man, that's actually pretty cool. I was like, I want to go and pull it up, but that gets in the way of the battle. It's like, oh yeah, where's Minior on the list? Did he even make top 30? It did not. That's actually a little surprising. I see a lot of people with like Minior submissions. Whoa. There we go. That's going to be the Draining Kiss, healing up Comfey, getting that super effective hit in there and making all kinds of good stuff happen. But Sableye gets the recover. And that's something you don't see. You rarely see like the Prankster Sableye get out something before it can recover. Normally that's the first thing to move, but Comfey with that triage ability is pretty fierce. I'm going to see what that can do and how we can get around this Minior now before it starts setting up. Fortunately, Minior is physical, so if you can get that burn down onto it, it's going to feel really good. And then Muck still has opportunity to damage out into the Comfey. So that's going to be more Draining Kiss. Sableye taking a hit right there. Is Sableye going to go for the Sacrificial Shutdown, or is it going to try to outpace the Comfey as Minior takes the Shell Smash? I gotta think it's funny that, you know, Minior has a cracked shell smashes, and that doesn't change the form. I wonder if that would actually make Minior play differently, if it could like break, if Shields Down also activated off of the Shell Smash. But that's gonna be White Herb and knockoff onto Minior. So little too late to knock off that White Herb, so at least we get to see that. And Muck's going for the stockpile, trying to gain its defenses so Minior can't hit it too hard, especially if you keep in that shield form. If you keep in the shield form, the offensive capability of Minior is going to be reduced. But now it's going to have a hard time against the Comfey on that Sableye. Sableye's actually going to recover, though. Interesting choice. Did Comfey go for the Leech Seed then to try to, like, wear down this Muck? That's going to be Burn and potential Leech Seed onto the Muck. While, oh, man, Muck is not having a good day right now. But there's the Gunk Shot. All right. Burned Gunk Shot onto the Comfey. And it's still going to be enough with the critical hit, though. I was about to say, that seems like a little too much damage, surprisingly. So crit onto the Comfey, we'll take it out. Gunk Shot did land, and yeah, it's just a lot of damage to deal with overall. So now it's the Mimikyu. And yeah, another Pokemon that kind of needs to get shut down, but at least Excadrill is ready for that one when it comes back in. So I wonder if the red card also keeps Excadrill safe, that it comes in, gets the damage, KOs something, pieces out, the target now becomes Muck, Muck soaks up those hits, or if it was supposed to be a water type move, you just go into the Torkoal, make it Sunny Day, boom, all that fun stuff. Mimikyu going to double down with the acrobatics from the Minior onto the Sableye. So Sableye will get fainted pretty hard right there. But now we have Prankster Muck. And maybe that was it. That's what, yeah, you gotta sacrifice off the Sableye at some point, because now you have Prankster Stockpile on the Muck. Unfortunately, Leech Seed plus Burn, that's going to be 3/16 of Muck's health gone every turn. But Mimikyu with a Burn will have substantially less damage. And now we're going to see if Torkoal ends up coming in, or if it's going to be the Excadrill. And it will be Excadrill. Now, is Scarf Excadrill faster than the Minior with a Shell Smash? Muck will protect, so it doesn't want to take any extra cheese damage on the side. That seems pretty good, and Excadrill comes in with that Smart Strike, so there it is, onto Mimikyu. Scarf Excadrill, guys. So good in the Tiny Tourney. So good. And then Minior has the Earthquake, so that's going to keep Muck a little extra safe this turn. And Excadrill will take that super effective hit. Split damage, though, on the shield form, even at +2, not going to be enough. And it's looking pretty bad for the opponent right now. Muck will take a little bit more damage from the burn. Now that the other Pokemon is not on the field for this turn, don't have to worry too much. And that's Toxapex coming in. So that's going to make things interesting. Toxapex will take the Protect, but did Excadrill go for the Smart Strike? And then Muck will Prankster Stockpile. So trying to just stay tanky for the Muck, just staying tanky, interestingly enough. And Excadrill went for the Smart Strike, because yeah, you Earthquake, you're hitting Muck, Toxapex could protect, you're not hitting the Minior. Minior is a bigger threat right now, and then by removing Minior, you have a safe turn, and unless Toxapex went for the Scald or something, then you can go and take out the Toxapex. You also have Muck there to go for the knockoff. Extra little bit of damage right there, still be a little bulky and difficult to deal with. But now that Toxapex is in, that's going to be Leech Seed and Toxapex, Regenerator, Black Sludge, Leech Seed, and back up to full health just like that. But now we'll be taking full Earthquake damage from the Excadrill, as well as whatever Muck wants to do, except Excadrill switching out into Jolteon. Right, it was not a Torkoal game, it was a Jolteon game. So Muck's going to protect. Kind of keeping it safe right now. Toxapex with the Scald. That was going to be targeted onto the Excadrill. Jolteon comes in, tanks it up very easily. Burn doesn't matter against Special Attacker. And even though there's a lot of status and a lot of low hit points, Toxapex can only do so much in the 1v2. Like, it's a filthy Pokemon. And maybe if there weren't super effective hits, Toxapex could find a way of stalling this one out. But Jolteon, it's just got too much damage on that Thunderbolt. Toxapex does not like that at all. And mostly they're like physical tanky, so that's going to be Toxapex with the Protect. And it looks like Toxapex actually gets to stall out. That's interesting. Alright, Jolteon with Wish. There's something I'm missing here? Like, that would have been the turn that you switch out the Muck, and then, like, you Jolteon Wish into the... I don't know. That's something strange, but at least getting that pretty free right there on the Protect turn from Toxapex. Maybe that was it, just kind of stalling out for the trolling. And then Jolteon will take the burn. And it looks like, yeah, Toxapex was able to outlast the Muck. The status coming in, the Leech Seed, just too much. And Muck without the sustain, very unfortunate right there. But now it's also Excadrill. Yeah, it's just too much super effective on the side of the opponent. Excadrill actually has Rock Slide, so just going to commit to that damage right there. Maybe finds a flinch. Then we also know Jolteon has the Thunderbolt, and that's going to be pretty ridiculous damage as well. But Toxapex survives it. We don't have Life Orb Jolteon is what it looks like. And I guess Wish might be a little bit more of like a supportive set. So that's going to be Burn to take down, or not Burn, that's just going to be Scald, take down the Excadrill. And Jolteon still has this one locked down as Wish comes in, drops it up to full health. Or pulls it up to full health. You don't really drop to full health in a lot of situations. So that's going to be the Jolteon taking the burn, and Berto playing the conservative battle, but securing the victory against something that can be fairly unpredictable and just filthy like the Toxapex, and that is going to be the GG. So yeah, I was actually, throughout this battle, I was like, wait a second, how many of every Excadrill ended up running the Choice Scarf? So we can see right here, Earthquake, Rock Slide, Iron Head, and then the Smart Strike. I honestly think Smart Strike's better than Iron Head at this stage. Excadrill already puts out a lot of damage. The stab, you can get some of that flinch chance, so I guess it is something that you can kind of toss up between. But in the tiny tourney, we got Pokemon like the Chandler, we got Pokemon like the Muck. There's evasion, guys, hanging around there. That's not something I want to chance too hard. Then we have a little bit of rapid spin, which is kind of awkward. But yeah, ground EMZ, Choice Scarf only at 27%. Wow. All right, I was expecting a lot more of like a harder anti-Mimikyu, but seems like some other people were also playing the Excadrill just as an outside kind of attacker, that you have ground EMZ. So what that's going to do is it's going to let you nuke the Mimikyu on an Iron Head. You don't have the Scarf, but you're still going to be faster than a lot of the Pokemon, because that's just kind of how the 7th generation worked out. Now, Excadrill is slower than the Mimikyu, I believe, because that's where things are going to get a little more interesting. Yeah, Mimikyu has the 96 and Excadrill has the 88. Excadrill has like a weird speed. I thought it was over 90, like around 95 or something, but yeah, that's why I wanted to just double check there really quick. So, it looks like you can also use Excadrill, just say, hey, I'm not afraid of Mimikyu. What's it going to do? Play Rough Me or Shadow Claw me? Like, you can just kill the Mimikyu after tanking a hit, or have Mimikyu attack your ally, so Mimikyu's pretty free with the Excadrill. And then you have Earthquake against the Muck, against the Torkoal, against the Chandelure, against the Rotom. Like, yeah, Excadrill is just a boss. As you can see, you know, Win Victorious. Oh, man, it even breaks all, like, the Mimikyu both forms. Other Excadrill as well. We have Muck, Chandelure, Torkoal, Marowak, Rotom. It's just filthy how much the Excadrill does against all the tiny Pokemon. So that's actually pretty cool. I like the breakdown of all the tiny tourneys, and it seems like there were some gimmicks available, but for the most part, there was just a lot of good Pokemon you get to have fun with. You know, we don't see the Excadrill, Chandelure, the Azumarill, the Azelf as much as we used to see them, so you can just pull them out and be like, yeah, let's just have a brawl. So Tiny Tourney just turned into straightforward brawling, and I think that is a pretty good feature, and that's why I want to show this even outside of Fan Fridays. So good job, Berto, and I hope you guys enjoyed this as well. Don't worry, I'm still going to be checking codes on the last Fan Fridays, the one that's actually on Friday. Be Saturday feature for the Berto. I don't think many people can complain about that. So if you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys later today. This isn't Fan Fridays, so thanks very much for watching. Have a nice day.